Hi everybody, I am working on showing you how I do my cups. I've seen a lot of people doing a tack it method using a special adhesive or something, but how I do it is when my cup is just almost to the point of being fully cured, like you can turn your turner off, but it would still leave fingerprints if you touch it too long. That's the point that you want to do this method. And all you do is take your standard glitter. I have my Glitter Designs by 2 light sapphire that I'm putting on the top part, and then an orange crush that I'm putting on the bottom part. So you just have to go and add a little bit at a time. I use my hand. Some people could use brushes if you really want to, but I find that you get better coverage from the rubbing of your hand because your hand's going to blend those pieces in to the little areas. And it's going to give it this like metallic finish because it's a metallic glitter. I thought that you could only do this with like holographics or color shifts, but it looks really cool with metallics too, and pretty much every kind of glitter. So I'm kind of in the experimentation process of that. But it reminds me of like when you were a kid and you did carnival rides. It reminds me of like those cars and motorcycles as far as like how the finish goes. And it has amazing coverage. So all I do is I prep my cup. Regular, you sand it, wash it, spray paint it, however you're going to need it for your glitter. And then you just coat it with your epoxy. I use counterculture, and I find that like this cup I coated this morning around 7:30 and it's 1 now. So it's just, it was starting to set too much. So I'm like, quick, gotta get my stuff together and get online and show. So you gotta work kind of quick once you hit that like 6 hour-ish mark, because otherwise your epoxy is gonna start to set up. But that's okay too, because all you have to do is use your heat gun then. If it's starting to set up and it's not as tacky as you want it to be, you just go ahead and hit it with your heat gun. My whole thing is you can get this same look with the torch as well. I have like these little baby ones. You can use those. It's just, I try not to play with fire just because I'm kind of more accident prone and things like that. So this is a safer way for me. So now all I'm going to do is switch over to my orange. I still haven't officially mastered the whole ombre part of this, but the cool part is if you mess up, you just coat it again, and then you can re-glitter on top because the coverage is that amazing. Sorry, I don't want any blue glitter getting in my orange, so I have to switch up papers. Is this going to be an Astros cup? Oh, see, I don't like that orange right here though, because I can see my spray paint's a different color. So pretty much, I have another orange I can use. So next round I'll do a more covering orange. It's just I don't like that I can see the line of the cup because this is kind of more of an iridescent. But it's got a cool little shift going. If I would have spray painted a different color orange, maybe that would have been better, but regardless. So you just literally sprinkle your glitter on and rub it on, and it makes your glitter lay flat. It will help you with your epoxy, because I find that I have to epoxy cups less or in thinner layers because I'm not worrying about the chunky and things like that eating up more of my epoxy. I'm going to relocate over to my other one that I need to do. Give me a sec. I got to get my blue. But it's the same process. I just spray painted the way I need the glitter to be. You epoxy it, and you just, it feels really weird to epoxy a cup that only has spray paint, and you know that it's probably not your best spray paint job, but that's okay. So this one I'm using Fago Red Pop. It's from Confetti Designs glitter, and I really, really like this one. I just discovered it like last week, and I really like the halos that you get. So just to show you something up close a little bit here, this area is totally spray painted blue, and I totally went down a little far with my red, and it's okay because it covers that well. So, but I don't need it like that, so I'm going to kind of brush it off a little bit. Keep going. And I am going to, this one seems to be setting up a little quicker than the orange and blue one, so I'm going to go ahead and hit it with my heat gun, because that will soften the epoxy back up and make it more receptive to holding your glitter. After you have your cup glittered with the raw glitter like this, you're going to want to clear spray it so that the glitter doesn't move on you when you're epoxying. And then you're just going to epoxy it like regular, and you get to do your decals pretty quick because you're not worrying about as many bumps in your glitter and things like that as far as smoothing stuff out. I'm trying to think. This one right here is one that I did with a Color Shift Chunky. And then, I mean, I did the whole epoxy part and then laid down the glitter flat and then did an iridescent over top. So it kind of has like a cool shift chrome kind of thing going on. So that's what your chunky is going to look like. It's going to lay a whole lot flatter and it's going to give your glitter a lot more potential. Like you're going to be able to see it better as far as, and also it actually lasts you longer too. Because I started working with some of the little sample bags that I have to try out some new stuff, and it goes a long way when you do it this way. So I'm gonna finish up with my glue, and then I gotta hop off of here because I'm sure the kids are gonna be getting into stuff. But I'm really excited about the metallic ones because they look so cool. And there have been times that the coverage wasn't the best, or I didn't spray paint the base color the correct color, or at all, and I should have. And it shows through a little bit, but after you do this process, like maybe twice, you're good. But I prefer it this way from here on out. So I'm gonna finish up this. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.